and make a plan. Once you have your evaluation, it's time to start tackling those risks, beginning with most critical. So these are all the steps what we need to follow while we are doing the risk evaluation. Then the next topic is the strategic program management. SPM is the process of thinking about our projects in light of the connection to strategic plan. In other words, strategic project management is about forming clear links between our projects and the strategic objectives. This is the diagram in which it is illustrating the strategic program management. This is the diagram that is illustrating the strategic program management. It is nothing but a loop of giving the strategic plans and following the different kinds of standards and methods. By applying the strategic plans and by applying the project management assessment, after that we will entering into the project management methods and standard phase. From there, 3 another sub phases are divided: portfolio management process, project management, training and support, enterprise project management tools. So by considering all these 3 steps, again it is connected with project portfolio management and finally with project management. So these things are combined and give a feedback and loop to give again to be connected with the project management. In each and every iteration of the step, it is giving some improvement over the assessment, what are all the objectives met and not met by following the different kinds of standards and methods. The next topic is the stepwise project planning. Planning is the most difficult process in project management. The framework described here is called the stepwise method, which is to be helpful to distinguish it from other methods. Here's some list of steps. The step 0 is nothing but selecting the appropriate project. How we are going to select the appropriate project, that is purely depends upon the skills and interest upon the project. The step 1 is identify project scope and objectives. So after selecting the appropriate project, we need to identify what is the actual project scope and objectives. The sub-steps of the step 1 is step 1.1. Here we are going to identify objectives and practical measures of effectiveness in meeting those objectives. Then step 1.2, that is giving the establishment of a project authority. Step 1.3, the stakeholder analysis. Identify all stakeholders in the project and their interest. Step 1.4, modify objectives in the light of stakeholders analysis. So after choosing the appropriate project, we need to identify the project scope and project objectives in different perspectives. Then step 1.5, establishment of methods of communication with all different parties. That is also very important. Then we move for step 2, identify the project infrastructure. Identify installation standard and procedure. We need to give more look up about the project infrastructure and the installation standards and procedure. Identify the project team organization. Then the third step is analyze the project characteristics. What are all the different characteristics of project? Step 3.1, under the step 3 is distinguish the project as either objectives or product driven. And the next thing is analyze other project characteristics, identify high level project risk. Then the next step is take into use requirements concerning implementation. Then 3.5 is selecting development methodology and life cycle approach. Then steps 3.6 review overall resource estimates. Then move on to step 4 identifying the project products and activities. Under this, many sub-steps are there. Identify and describe project products, document generic product flows, recognize product instances, produce ideal activity network, modify the ideal to take into account need for stages and checkpoints. And then step 5 estimate the effort for each activity, carry out bottom up estimates, distinguish carefully between effort and time elapsed, revise plan to create controllable activities. Then step 6 identify activity risk, identify and quantify activity based risk, damage if risk occurs, likelihood if risk occurring. Then step 6.2 plan risk reduction and contingency measures. Risk reduction activity to stop risk occurring, contingency action if risk does occurs. Step 6.3 adjust overall plans and estimates to take account of risk. Then during step 7 allocate the resources, identify and allocate resources, revise plans and estimates to take into account resource constraints. Then step 8 reviewing and publicize plans, review the quality aspects of project plan, document plans and obtain agreement. And the final step 9 and 10, that is executing the plan, lower levels of planning. So these are all the 10 steps we need to concentrate over the stepwise project planning. By giving the different interest over the different steps of project planning, we can able to analyze each and every aspect of the project in a very easy and in a very concise way.